It's Dartanac Guelph host Romania. There have been a few other games that have already come to a conclusion. We'll run through those a little bit later on when we can. But this game now in Greece is just about to get underway in just a few moments, and now it does. So Greece, the hosts, get us underway there. So Greece all in white, and they'll be shooting from left to right. So I see it, and Scotland shooting from right to left from my perspective. Greece all in white, and Scotland in their home strip all in dark blue as we get this game underway there. So big game ahead of Scotland. Can just avoid defeat. Steve Clark's side, they'll be happy with that. They'll take points, certainly. It still means that it'll be a winner-takes-all match in that final group game at Hampton Park against Denmark. So Scotland would still have a good chance, a fighting chance at least, of finishing top of the group and qualifying automatically. So just about 45 seconds in, just South it's by 50, so just be a free kick to Greece just behind the halfway line, inside the path. There Christos Musafatis just going down there. Now Vasilidis to Vetsos, now Piliaratis. Musafatis again. Greece is playing the ball through the middle there. Right at the Pat Stadium, and you said it is a pretty big stadium here that this is being played in, but you can imagine not every seat filled with Greece not being able to qualify at all now for next year's FIFA World Cup. But plenty of pride at stake as Greece now build down this right flank here with Karatsas down the right flank. Looking to leave past his opponent. Drills in a left-footed shot and it's blocked straight away by the Scottish defence. And Scotland just seemingly pretty happy to sick the to begin with. Greece is playing the ball down the right-hand side of their defence now with Retsos. With 1-2. Retsos getting on the ball. And to the right of the said circle. Plays the ball through to Cordelis. Now Zakitis. Greece playing the ball down this left-hand side. That Ganandok will be equal to that. Still keeps some space. Play the ball away. And in the end, he's conceded a throw into the hosts. Greece take the throw quickly on the left-hand side then. Back to the halfway line to the centre bed fence with Retsos. Now Vasilidis. Retsos again. Piliaratis. Adams just trying to keep a great defence on their toes, which is possible here. Here's Eftis. Place ball through the middle there. Nicely played with the strike up top path of this. Now Greece will continue playing the ball down the left-hand side. Fight at delivery, but very pleased with for 42-year-old Craig Gordon to win the ball there. Pretty remarkable age, 42 and still playing competitive games for his national team. That was the first choice they'll be before tonight. Was having a great season with Hearts, who are still top of the Scottish Premiership. Shane Adams was just running down the long ball, but was then adjudged to have just wandered into Piliaratis. And so it's free kick to Greece well inside their penalty area here. So Scotland at the moment just happy for Greece to have plenty of the ball, and just to soak up the pressure. Happy to chase the ball down. In for attacks will play a big part in Scotland's game tonight, I feel. Greece just happy to dictate the tempo from their side. Just playing the ball nicely in from the right-hand side of their defence. Now they'll surge down the middle here for Paul Davis. Down to the left-hand side, through to Simikas. Simikas trying to beat Ganandok on that left-hand side. Has enough room to get a delivery in. But suit goes to Gordon. Gordon will easily playing the ball. And will just take his time. The other Scotland have not really seen much of the ball yet in these opening 5 minutes. So will go long though. Hooks the ball well, and pretty much to goalkeeper at the opposite end. Yeah, the next person that took the ball was Vlachodimos in Greece's goal. It shows you how long Gordon looked it there. Again, Scotland just happy for Greece to have the lion's share of possession at the moment. Yeah. Histi just trying to win the ball in the centre of midfield, gets second by the cherry, it's passed it back to Gordon. Gordon again, it doesn't go short, would still won the game. Now it's won by Retsos. Now McGinn, on a good season for Aston Villa in the English Premier League. Outscored back to Fenley. Back to Gordon. Again, Gordon will go long. Straight to Greece's central defence here. We're now moving to these 6 minutes of the game. So, still Greece, still Scotland now. Now, whenever we have chats, we of course will make you aware of what's happening in terms of the latest scores elsewhere. Of course, we keep you up to date with what's happening in that sheet. Belarus versus Denmark, the other matching this brief period that Greece and Scotland are involved in. All the way back to Vlachodimos in the Greek goal. No, it's the 7th minute here, so a very tame start to this game. Pretty cagey, that's to be said, because getting themselves settled in here. As Greece managed to just work through the middle there with Pavlidis. Pavlidis will go to goal. He goes to goal from the edge of the area. This has been saved there from Gordon. He got another chance and they've taken that chance. Greece have taken the lead after 7 minutes played. And it's the skipper, Bakasetas, who has scored here. Tassos Bakasetas has given Greece the lead after just 7 minutes played. Initially, the shot was saved there by Craig Gordon. But Greece got a second bite of the cherry. They made no mistake the second time around. That initial effort from Pavlidis, it was saved by Gordon. You have to say it's very slow defending from Scotland. It's a poor goal to concede from the TartanArmy's perspective. They allowed Pavlidis far too much space to get that first shot in. Unfortunately for them, Gordon came to their rescue the first time around, but the defense just too slow, not closing down. The Greek players' angle is quickly north. And the second time around, Tassos Bakasetas of Panathinaikos scores his 19th goal for Greece at senior national team level. And you have to say, that's poor defending from Scotland that has given Greece an early advantage here. I'm interested to know how big the celebrations there were for Greece, Nina's. If they've mentioned right at the top of the coverage here that they can't qualify for next year's World Cup. They can't even get through to the playoffs via sort of the UEFA Nations League routes, which has acted as a lifeline for about 3 or 4 other nations. But Greece have the early lead then. And there's a goal in the 7th minute from Bakasetas has given Greece the lead. The Euro 2004 champions, of course. Greece, maybe the biggest surprise winners of the major international tournament. There's FD maybe on a par with Denmark in Euro 92. So, big challenge now for Scotland. They've now got to start chasing this game there. They're already behind very early on. And they've barely seen any of the ball. It's actually a free kick now to Greece because of a late trip there from John Suter. Rangers defender making his 21st appearance here, so it's a free kick for Greece in a pretty good area here from the left flank. It's too acute to go directly at goal, but it's an opportunity to put the ball in. Right, it's the mixer in around the penalty spots here. The Bakasetas will go for it. Mastitude headed away initially by the Scottish defence, but Scotland looking to break as quickly as possible here through playing down a dope, but Tsimikas should be okay with it, and is in the end won a free kick for the hosts here. Ganado penalised too much shirt pulling and pushing, and so Greece will just take their time with this free kick inside their own area. So just tuned in, they're listening to Happy Roads here for Flash Thought, and after 10 minutes it's already Greece 1, Scotland 0. Tassos Bakasetas, the Greek skipper, Panathinaikos player, makes his 80th appearance for Greece tonight, scoring with a plum after just 7 minutes played. So, big task ahead now for Scotland. They were nowhere near on top in the game the previous game that had against Greece at Hampton Park, that Scotland still somehow came out on top. Lewis Ferguson, by the way, has now picked up a booking as the first one of the game for a bit of a cynical trick. There's a yellow card there for Ferguson. He's going to be tasseled now. Greece played Ethniki quickly then to the inside their own half. Simicast will play a one very ambitious delivery. Trying to find Carrot Sass. But Robertson is equal to that one. But Greece win the ball back in and it's Field. Loose ball again now with Shea Adams. Will just regain possession for Scotland. They just need to see more of the ball here. McGinn goes down. There's one inside a free kick. Foul connected by Corbois. Bit of a wry smile there on the face of Greece manager, Ivan Jovanovic. I think he thought that was a foul. The Hadley just passes the ball back to Gordon. Gordon goes long. It's Shea Adams. Adams can't keep the ball though. He wants a free kick. There's not going to get one. So Greece just passes the ball back to Muzakitis. And to Retsos. One goal right at the top, trying to find half of this. Now Scotland will regain possession in their midfield with Ferguson. Now plays the ball to Thicky. Takes the ball up to the halfway line. 12 minutes done in. Greece 1, Scotland 0. Hestas beat skipper with an early goal after just 7 minutes played there at the Stadio Zorzos at Kairastaki. Getting McTominay to the quiet start to the game. Tekiki. McTominay again. Of course, Syria A title winner with Napoli last season. In absolute dominant since leaving Manchester United to join Napoli in Syria A. Scotland's happy now just to pass the ball around their defence. It's the first time they'd really had an opportunity to do this. Suter. He had a Giki on the right hand side of Scotland's defence here. Suter. Neil Handley. It's Robertson on the left hand side. Robertson is the captain tonight for Scotland. And there's the tonight's game for the national side. Move Constable back. Now Christie plays that's a nice ball, smart ball down the right wing here. Scotland with their first attack of any time. Just into the penalty area there. Player could have gone down. Stays up though, it's down a Doe. Now towards the edge of the penalty area, but they can't get enough space here. Ryan Christie is trying to find enough space to go with his left foot, but has the ball taken off him just as he's about to pull the trigger. And they need to just be a bit quicker about just getting the shots in there. They've not been able to test the ball deeper yet. And we've not had a shot yet. Now Scotland just having a bit more of the ball there. Robertson. To Handley. Now Suter. Back to Handley. Just about 10 yards behind the halfway line inside the run part here. Robertson. Handley, the Hibernian centre half, making his 65th appearance for Scotland. And Suter to Ickley on the right hand side. Goes past one and goes past second Greek opponent as well there to keep the ball for the TartanArmy. That's a Robertson. The Tonani is though the halfway line of the left flank. Well, this is certainly Scotland's best spell of possession, and they've had so far, but they're still not been able to create a playful chance here. Now with Ferguson, Zumputin Thos, begin. The things turn past his opponent here. Will go down, and will a free kick. It's about 15 yards over the halfway line. Begin gesturing to the official without actually doing the passive card symbol with his hand there. It's kind of says the referee might want to think about dishing out a card there. So nothing coming out of the referee's pocket for this one. Referee tonight, by the way, is Jesus Gil Manzano, and VAR is present at this game. I'm sure you'll be absolutely thrilled to know. So quarter of an hour played there. Greece 1, Scotland 0. Free kick comes in. Very deep indeed, and it's far too close to the goalkeeper Vlachodivas, the Serbia goalkeeper. Needs his 50th appearance for Greece tonight. And he'll just take this time. there, a little bit of asters there between the Scottish 5, Handley, and the goalkeeper. Handley just sort of running into the back of the goalkeeper there. But it is something of nothing. Team cards given. No, Greece have just won the 3-kick inside their own pass again here. The Peasants just winning the 3-kick. Now, there's been another goal in the other Group C game. Denmark have taken the lead at home against Belarus. So Denmark are 1-0 up at home against Belarus. Obviously not a very surprising scoreline at all. You would expect Denmark to beat Belarus at home. So it means that if it stays like this, Scotland can still mathematically automatically qualify for the World Cup. But I think we would have to beat Denmark by 4 goals in a game at Hampton Park if they were to do it. So that would be, well, a bit of a mounting decline to say the least. So Scotland, that's why just a point would be crucial for Scotland. They don't mean specifically to get a win. Points would still mean that they could beat Denmark in their final Greek game at Hampton Park and reach next year's FIFA World Cup. But they need a goal back here away from home against Greece as the hosts just keep the ball on the right hand side bended field here. Now it's a spread ball just from the right flank to the left hand side. Looking to play in the Greek 10 Zovitz. That's a nice free ball as well. That's the defending there from Scotland. Danado just gets the ball away anywhere he can. Just falls to the Greekman to Vasilidis. Will only go as far now as Handley. That is an awesome pass back to Craig Gordon. And it's one of the cheapest corners you'll ever see given away. It was a dreadful pass from Grant Handley. I don't know what he was thinking there. He just needed a calm pass back to Gordon. And Gordon did not keep the ball in play, but it wasn't his fault. It's a thing that has to go to Grant Handley there. Thought laid misplaced pass. And a corner given away that clearly shouldn't have happened. If Scotland concede from here, Steve Clark will be absolute furious. So corner comes in down, just in, but it's headed away by the Scottish defence. On his far now though as Keatis. Delivery in from the left of centre, but that will only find Andy Robertson. Though, Scotland getting away with that one, because that was truly dreadful corner to have conceded there from the Borsay back pass from Grant Handley. Now Scotland will go on the counter here. Free Dope on the right hand side. Just towards the edge of the penalty area. Now it's Christie will go for goal, but it's headed away by Greek number 3, Kouliarakis. Now GreeceVsScotland to come to themselves here. They're just getting a little bit more strength as we approach the 19th minute of the game. Yeah, with Yuzakitis about 15 yards over the halfway line on the left hand side. Let's play the ball back to Kouliarakis. Yeah, Red Sauce and hot Greek fence. Does that 15 yards over the halfway line again. Vasilidis on the right flank to take on his man here. Now into the right of centre. Plays the ball up to Solis. Solis again, that's a nice one. 2-0, does the goal and it's forward away at near post by Craig Gordon. Beast save there from veteran goalkeeper, but the danger is not over. Comes back out, delivery in from the left of centre, headed away by the Scottish defence. The delivery came in from Karatsas. And you've got to say Greece have been comfortably the better team so far here, but of course they were also comfortably the better team for the vast majority of the previous meeting they had against Scotland, that time at Hampton Park, and somehow Scotland came out on top 3-1 by the end of the 90 minutes there. Of course, this is even more difficult this time around for Scotland away from home. As Pavlidis, it's a good pass in here. It's another good save there from Gordon. The danger still not over. And then the rebounded effort there from Solis is steered off targets. And Scotland are really, really on the ropes here. They are struggling. Greece look very, very smooth on the ball. And if there is going to be another goal in this game, you can only see it coming to Greece once more. Good save from Gordon because Solis' initial effort took a tiny deflection. Clawed away by Gordon, and Solis probably should have done better with the rebounded effort. He steers his effort wise. You get the feeling that Craig Gordon may be in for a very, very busy evening indeed. for Greece already have 7 attempts in total. Scotland have not registered one yet. I think really has been all Greece so far, and if anything, Greece probably should be further ahead than the current 1-goal margin. So plenty of work ahead here. It's still Denmark 1, Belarus 0. So it means that Denmark are 3 points clear of Scotland with 1 game to go. If their teams are level on points in the UEFA qualifying section, then the teams are separated by goal difference rather than a head-to-head record. So goal difference takes preference, but Denmark's goal difference is +12, while Scotland's is just +4. So it would need, if my maths is okay, which did not really, that's not my strength, that it would need a 4-goal win, I believe, Scotland to then finish clear of Denmark on goal difference. So it would be a bit of an Everest to find that for Steve Clark's side. So that's why just a point would be very, very crucial indeed for Steve Clark's side tonight, if they can get it. As Greece just win, throwing in a decent position, only got 10 yards away from the quarter quadrant here. It was well won by the Greece 19, Konstantinos Karetsas, plays his football in the Belgian Pro League for Ging. Greece will now play the ball through the middle here. After this, Ethniki lost the delivery towards the edge of the box here, but it's protected by Christie. No, Scotland just won a free kick in the middle of play, midway down their own half here, and just an opportunity for Scotland just to slow the tempo down a little bit, because Greece, well, if Greece had gone 2-0 up within the last 5 minutes, I don't think any Scottish fan could really have had any complaints, because it has been all Greece so far. When you look at it again, so it's being sort of stubbed that rebound effort into the back of the net. So Scotland on the ropes, but still in contention, just that they really are up so a lot of pressure here. So midway through the third half, now into the 23rd minute, Hadley to Suter, now 50. His ball frees to the right hand side. Frank Van Ganto, Bondu went out to play though. Will be a throw to the hosts. Sinikas to Kouriaratis, now Vlachodimos. Retsos. Play the ball to Vasilidis on the right hand side of Greece's defence. Retsos plays the ball down the middle. Scotland just can't really get a proper hold of the ball though, especially in Greece's own half. Pavlidis to sitting in deep there. It's well to keep the ball. I must say Greece are playing the ball around really, really nicely indeed. Just an attempted free ball, a bit ambitious. It's done a little bit too much weight on it. And Gordon will collect that one. Scotland now back in possession and play the ball through the middle here. Let's play the ball down to begin on the left hand side. About 15 yards over the halfway line and signed Greece some path. Now it's the right flank here with Ganindo. And to Robertson. Let's see, still middle of the centre circle to Handley. Scotland just pushing up a little bit ball, but not too much. Really don't want to leave themselves too open and at too early a stage, but and see if the scoreline remains at 1-0 as the game progresses, and especially if the second half progresses. Scotland will have to start chasing the game a little bit more than what they currently are. Robertson, Hadley, Sita, but 10 yards behind the halfway line. Scotland now just happy to at least just have a feel of the ball here and start to try and dictate the tempo themselves. Still haven't created a single opportunity here. Now a lost the delivery down the left hand side, but Robertson keep balling. No, he can't. And it'll be a goal kick for Zakodimos to take for Greece. So we've just got a very slight break. We'll just have a quick look and see what the latest scores are elsewhere. It's been still at information for you. It's probably waiting for this goal kick to take place here. So it's currently Slovenia 0, Kosovo 1. Switzerland's currently 1-0 against Sweden. Well, that's Graham Potter's first game as Sweden's manager, the former Chelsea and West Ham United manager. As we're already aware, Denmark currently 1-0 at home against Belarus. And it's currently Bosnia-Herzegovina 0, Romania 1 in League H. Back here though in Greece, the hosts will just play the ball out from the back here. Just with through the Arapists. Retsos. Into Vajanidis. And he's got plenty of space here. He's already gone very far down this right flank. And he's ended up winning a corner for the hosts. The ball came off Robertson once. And again, good build-up play there from the hosts. Their corner from the right-hand side. And the Greek fans, clearly, and they should have every right to be very pleased with their side's performance so far. Because if anything, there should be more than 1-0 in front here. So now maybe it's the 27th minute of the game. So corner will now come in swing there, aimed at the near post. It is a good save again from Craig Gordon. The header this time could be for Rex or something. It was, he got a free header. And again, Craig Gordon calls the ball away. Big chance there for Greece. It's a good, strong right hand there for Craig Gordon. Tips the ball around the post. And if it wasn't for Craig Gordon, Scotland would, you'd probably already be game over. The corner comes in then, again at the near post. This time it's headed away by Scottish defence. And then the referee has spotted some sort of infringement. I'm not too sure what they've seen at, but Scotland have now won their relief. Free kick each side. Their own penalty areas, in fact. So when you look at replay, that was the right decision by the referee. Ethniki going down, being shoved over. But Scotland have just got to get a bit of a break here. They're just being completely run over by Greece, just in every single department. It's almost like there's an extra Greek players. It's almost like there's 12 games to lesson. And it's just it's credit to Greece. They're playing the ball very, very nicely indeed. And they very much deserve the lead that they currently have. And for Scotland, I think at the moment it's just a question of just at least making sure they get to the interval, and only by being 1-0 down. And can't really afford to be another goal down here as Greece with Pavlidis. Just goes down the right-hand side. He's nearly delivery there that finds Christos Solis, and he, priced the ball into the ground. And it makes it a very comfortable save at the end for Gordon. Solomon Pace went out the effort again. So the shots on target here for the hosts. Now there's 6 shots on target already. In Scotland, those shots on target, pretty certain have not had a single shot even off targets as well. And it tells its own story at the moment. Greece dominating here. So now play the ball down this left-hand side. And just take some passes here. Just in between their defence. I guess some stats up for you as well as and when we can. But Greece going on their next attack here. Fni Karetsas down the right flank. Just plays the ball back to Vajanidis. Retsos, but that headed attempt only about 2 or 3 minutes ago. That forced a good save from Craig Gordon, veteran goalkeeper. That's a lovely goal there, just played to the number 19, Karetsas. He does not keep the ball in on this right flank. Then sturdy delivery, but it evades everyone. And Scotland's relief, the ball will go out playing at their goal kick for Gordon to take. And so in terms of these stats then, we've just got this slight break here. So Scotland, without a shot even on or off target. So that XG, no, not everyone likes those kind of stats, but in terms of the XG and expected goals, Greece have registered 0.96, whereas Scotland's is a, not so great 0.00. So Greece have 9 shots in total. And 6 on target, but also has 64% possession in this day so far. Scotland's 36. But of course, Greece were dominant for large parts in that previous game against Scotland at Hampton Park, and Scotland still came out on top. So Scotland will have to repeat a similar trick here if they're going to go into that game in 3 days' time against Denmark with inconstance. Replay just goes down there. Van Geller's Pavlidis. Falconets by Ferguson. So just going to be careful, Lewis Bird, since he's already on a yellow card. It's one of those where you think that the hump already been shown a yellow, he would have been shown one there. So just raised his arm a little bit there. See, not intentional. But we'll just have to be careful. As Greece now played both in the middle of the game, which they've done very well so far in this match. And Pasadis again doing well, just sit back, just dropping back and able to link up play well with the attacking midfield. Carrot Staffs on the right flank, plays ball into the right centre for Vajanidis. Augustus, the goal scorer so far, Greece skipper. Now back to Retsos from the centre circle. Bilirakis back to Retsos here. Now over the half hour, marking the 32nd minute of the game. Still Greece 1, Scotland 0 after that 7th minute strike from Tassos Kassitos, the Panathinaikos player. And the delivery comes in here, and Greece have almost doubled their advantage. Pavlidis stretching for the ball, and that must have been only inches wide of the post there. Hard to mouse sound for all the travelling TartanArmy supporters. If he just got to the ball just a split second quicker, his connection would surely have seen the ball go into the back of the net. And just wondering if Pavlidis has possibly injured himself, because he was stretching every sinew there to get to the ball on time. He did well to actually get the shot in. He may have just actually injured himself in the stretch of the ball, but he is now running okay, bidding us at full health. But I think he should be okay to continue. But again, another massive warning sign now for Scotland, and they've just got to try and get a hold of this game. So both Greece should be 2 or 3-0 up here. And that was so close there for Angelis Pavlidis to double Greece's advantage. So stretching forward ball, managed to get connection, but it just wasn't quite enough. Ball just doing about a couple of inches if that wide of the post, with Craig Gordon beaten. So a lot of work ahead here for Scotland, because they are really on the ropes. Now with McTominay, the sitting deep there, it kind of tells you everything as well. See McTominay in this game so far. Greece done an excellent job just sort of marking him out of this. But McTominay expecting possession that's in a very deep flow here. Well inside, that is just half. Now Hickey. He's ball to Suter. And from the centre circle, delivery to the left-hand side. Just a damn nicely there. And Greece will just allow Scotland to have a throw-in. Last touch there coming from Retsos, the Olympiakos centre-half. So Robertson will take it from Scotland skipper, about 15 yards away from the corner quadrant. So throwing a good area there for Scotland. Just need a chance, they need anything at the moment. Robertson plays the ball in, that's better from Scotland. Retsos gets the final touch. That Scotland have got a corner. And can they do something there? Can he equalise and wrap things up through a set piece? So at the moment they've still not registered his shot, but that was better from the visitors. He's finally posing some questions rather of the Greece defence. So 20 bodies here inside the penalty area, very congested 18-yard area. It's going to be Christie to take the corner for Scotland. Going to be less Sutter, so it should be an outswinger into the area. There's no one around him. Outswinger comes in and is steered wide of the target. Who did it come off last though? Was it Shea Adams or was it one of the Greek defenders? It did come off the Greek player last, so it's going to be a corner here then for Scotland. And it's going to be Ferguson to take. So a changing corner dictate from here. So Ferguson will take, and this time they'll go right. Fancy's twisting and shoving it near the 18-yard area. Now Ferguson takes. Aimed at the far post. Headed across the face of goal. Goes out to play. And must agreed play elastic gauge. So it's going to be a third consecutive corner kick here for Scotland. And Greece simply then still the crack 4-1. At least they're playing a little bit of pressure now onto Greece. Because, well, can you imagine the frustrations within the Greek camp if Scotland, were to get an equalise for the interval with how dominant Greece have been. Corner comes in. It's time at the near post from the right-hand side. Headed away initially by the Greek defence. Back to McTominay. Delivers the ball into the area towards the far post. Header across the face of goal from Handway, but it's hooked away by the Greek defence. This gives an opportunity for Scotland to try and build some more pressure inside Greece's half, but we could have redefended down on the field here. And looks as if it's the Kastovs, the skipper. They'll need some treatment here from a couple of Greece physios, so needs to have a little bit of a break in the game here. So, well, just give us an opportunity just to run through what's happening tonight then, and actually what happened earlier on today in the matches that have taken place in the UEFA section of the World Cup qualifiers. So it's currently Slovenia 0, Kosovo 1 in Group B. Sweden have now equalised away at Switzerland in Graham Potter's first game in Sweden manager. There's now Switzerland 1, Sweden 1. And in the other Group C games, obviously of huge interest to Scotland. Denmark still 1-0 up at home against Belarus. In Group E, both of those games have already come to an end. So Spain beat Georgia 4-0 and are on the very, very brink of qualifying to the World Cup, I believe. And Turkey also wraps up 3 points with 2-0 victory at home against Bulgaria. In Group H, Austria had won 2-0 away at Cyprus. And whilst Bosnia-Herzegovina are currently losing 1-0 at home against Romania. And then in Group J, Belgium had the chance to qualify or to beat the World Cup, and remarkably they were helmed to a 1-1 draw away at Kazakhstan, while Wales, not too long ago, wasn't pretty, but they ground out a 1-0 victory away from home against European minnows Liechtenstein. So Wales still have that opportunity of finishing within the top 2 of Group J. And so in terms of the achievements here, so Tassos, the Pastas, the Greek skipper, has now gone off the field. It's taken a long time. Probably it's out some stable to run through all the latest stills there. It's, I think, the point that Scotland head coach Steve Clarke is making to the referee is just trying to make the referee aware of just how much time has been wasted there. And Tassos, the Pastas, it took a 1-1 time for him to get off the pitch. And I don't think it comes as any surprise that this has happened when Scotland have finally been able to gain some momentum in the game, and that momentum's just kind of been killed off now with the amount of time that has been lost. So the play has now resumed. Can Scotland just, build on a little bit of a platform here after gaining some momentum just in the last few minutes? Early attempt to pass down the right flank comes to nothing though. Reads to Slavkorimos. Stadiv's ball to Vagianidis on the right hand side of Greece's defence. Kestas goes there in. He will get straight back up this time now, so he is okay to continue. And again, Ferguson committing the foul there, and Bruce Ferguson has just got to be careful because he did pick up the yellow card early on. And we've got another Greek player down, but I don't think there is any time wasting here. I think this is genuine, and I think Vangelis Pavlidis will need to come out, because though it's Pavlidis, of course, who's stretched for that effort only about 10 minutes ago, where he came ever so close to doubling Greece's advantage. And I don't think he's going to be able to continue here. But to be a big blow to Greece, has had a very good game so far. So I've got a feeling Pavlidis might have to come off. So he is being seated now by the Greece physios. So no changes in the storylines from any of the other games currently taking place. While we've got this break then, while Pavlidis is being treated, some quick look at who's definitely qualified then from the UEFA qualifying section. There's not too many that have qualified officially in terms of group A's. Now at least the winner takes all battle between Germany and Slovakia. And in Group B, Switzerland are, well, in the driving seat. Both they 7 not short themselves of a qualification spot yet. Of course, as things stand, Denmark are in very, very good position indeed to qualify automatically. So Pavlidis is now off the field. I think he's still going to try and continue. Physios are just still further assessing his. It looks to be a knee injury that is picked up. So after this, he's going to try his best to continue there. Those 2 injuries would probably lost about 4 minutes of play. So we're probably going to have a fair amount of stoppage time. He now moves into the 41st minute. So the game has now restarted here. And Greece looking to play the ball from the centre to the left-hand side. Only about 2 yards late on the edge of the penalty area. It's picked up by Simikas. As we all know what he's capable of from his done before at Liverpool. Now currently on loan this season at AS Roma in Italy's Serie A. Greece have won a throw. And Pavlidis still being treated. The magic spray is coming out. But they are still trying to get him back on here. But still at the moment, Greece are just down to 10 then. Be it temporarily. And just play the ball back to Kouliarapis. Obviously right now it's the imperative that Greece just keep the ball whilst they just abandon down here. Now Pavlidis has now returned to the field. So I'm sure that will be monitored. But I would be massively surprised if Pavlidis may have to go off at the interval. And in fact, well, as just coming on, he is now gesturing to the officials that he's now got to go off. So I think the Scottish players, and I do understand where they're coming from. I think they are getting very frustrated because they're not too sure why Pavlidis came back on the pitch to then suddenly know after a few seconds, yes, I need to come off. So again, a lot of time being lost here. That Pavlidis is now definitely going to go off. So finding out very soon who he will be replaced by. You can tell the Scottish players and the staff and the TartanArmy supporters just getting pretty annoyed by how much time is being lost here. So it's going to be the number 18 coming on for Greece in that enforced substitution. He now enters the pitch, and so it's Andreas Tete. He plays his club football in Greece for Kifisia. And so these now being introduced. And so I've got a stat correct. This is his debut for Greece's national side at senior team level. So this is international debut at senior level for Andreas Tete. So we'll see what impact he has here. He's replaced Bangeras Pavlidis, certainly a much more experienced international player. This was Pavlidis' 53rd appearance for Benfica strike. But play has now resumed from this game, but I imagine with it, well, must have at least 5 minutes stoppage time to come with a series of stoppages that we've had within the past 10 minutes. So Scotland back in possession, now playing ball through the middle here with Serderson. Suter, Handley. Now to Robertson, just on Stockman's left flank. And ball will arrive in barely into Greek penalty area, but it's looked away very comfortably there by Corbelis. And the throw to Stockman now, just on the halfway line on the left-hand side. We'll take the throw quick. So just a reminder, it's that Greek substitution. So Tete is come on for the injured Pavlidis just for the last 2 stages of this first half. Robertson. If Christie has just gone a bit more to the left-hand side there for Scotland, then perhaps a slight change, a slight tweak in the tactics here from Steve Clark. Scotland just trades some passes out from their defence. Now they've got some room to play with here with McTominay and player you would want Scotland to start playing ball into some space. 50 into the ball into Tominay, and then Demon Dope almost feeds on the ball there. That was the defending from Greece, and it's been able to clear the ball away. Scotland are just taking a bit more territory, so only 4 minutes stoppage time. But same, very surprised at that. We've lost a lot of time within the last 10 minutes, but Scotland have got an opportunity here in EuropeQualification. With their first opportunity at goal, they have hit the crossbar there from long range. From out of nowhere, then Scotland almost grabbed the equaliser. That was very, very close indeed. We'll just have a look here at the first replay here, and it's from Scotland. Tominay, lovely effort from around 25 yards. It was a lovely curling effort. The keeper was beaten, but to Scotland's disbelief, the ball rattled off the woodwork. And how incredible with that one. Scotland have just got to be careful because they're being taken apart here on the counter-attack from Greece, but they've just been able to get the defensive block in. And that's the danger, of course, with Scotland. If they're going to play a little bit more open, it will leave their defence rather a bit more open to be exploited here by the Greek forward line. And now this game getting very straight now. Begin playing the ball to the Tominay on the left-hand side. Now it's the second and it's the first half stoppage time. Ferguson, 35 yards down. This is much better from Scotland, but of course they've got to be careful of how quick Greece and how dangerous they can be on the counter-attack. But this is better, and Scotland showing more intent. Gannon Doe down for the ball towards the right-hand side. Surrounded by two Greek players, there's done well to keep ball. Now Hickey plays ball into the area, and there's a chance in Che Adams. This hit the side netting, and Adams does well to not injure himself running into the stanchion there. Che Adams coming within inches of getting an equaliser. Lovely delivery from Dickie. Adams just getting ahead of his man, and his close range header finds the side netting. It was pretty close. He was coming in at an acute angle. He wasn't far out, it was acute. And he's in a close range header, finds the side netting, and Adams could have very easily avenged himself there, because he almost whacked himself right into the stanchion behind the goal. He is okay to continue. So this end of the first half has been very eventful indeed here. And Scotland, even though they're still losing, they have at least shown that they are definitely not out of this just yet. So within the last few minutes, Che Adams coming within inches of getting an equaliser, and that was only about 90 seconds after Scott McTominay picked a pass of long range for the visitors. So Greece still ahead, and it is only 1-0. And how we've only had one goal in this half, not sure, because before those Scottish chances, Greece have absolutely hammered Scotland, to be fair. So it's the last minute then of stoppage time before we reach the interval. And remarkably, it might now be Greece that are just wanting the half-time whistle to go, because this has been a pretty decent late sturge here from the visitors, from Steve Clark's side. So long distribution here from the Greek goalkeeper, VsScotland. And the Greek midfielder just played the ball out to, attempting to get to the right, their forward line. The Scotland will go on the counters. A decent pass here from Tominay. Ganado has got an opportunity, but it's blocked by Vlachodimos, and that was another big opportunity there for the visitors. It was a lovely through ball from Scott McTominay. A great turn there from Ganado. He had just the goalkeeper to beat, but that was great goalkeeping there from Vlachodimos, and he blocked Ganado. He closed his angles just enough to prevent Scotland from getting the equaliser. What a first half this has been. We're now into additional added on time here. It's the 5th minute of stoppage time. Corner for Scotland aimed at the far post, but don't just run into the gloves there of Vlachodimos. And the half-time whistle, has it gone? Or has there been a foul? It is the half-time whistle. So, what an incredible first half that was. I cannot believe that we've only had one goal. So, and just a quick summary of where we're at then. So, up until about 10 minutes ago, Greece were absolutely battering Scotland. They should have, I would say, at least have been 3-0 up, but it still was only 1-0. And with the scoreline Had only a 1-goal margin, still meant that Scotland were being with a chance. And within the last few minutes of the first half, Scotland from nowhere have suddenly got right back into this game. And you saw Scotland dominated the woodwork. It saw Shea Adams come within inches of finding back of the net with a close-range header. And remarkably, it's Greece that are probably quite relieved to hear the half-time whistle. So at Eadsville here, Greece hold a slender 1-0 lead. They don't go anywhere. We'll be taking a break for about 10 to 12 minutes, but we will be back just before the start of the second half. We're on live commentary coverage. So at half-time here, Scotland in a very eventful first half. So the only goal of the game that we've seen took place in the 7th minute when Greek skipper Tassos Bakasetas, the Greek skipper, scored, and then Greece absolutely hammered Scotland at that point for the vast majority of the first half, and should have gone even further ahead, but Scotland somehow stayed in the game and then had 3 golden opportunities to equalise within the last 5 or 6 minutes before we reached the interval. So remarkably only 1 goal in the end in the first half, and it is still Greece 1, Scotland 0 as we now start the second half here. So Greece are now shooting from right to left as I see it, and Scotland shooting from left to right from. So Greece all in white and Scotland all in dark blue as we get this second half underway. Already Scotland starting on the front foot then with Gannon-Doe arriving from the right wing. It's penalty area, ball across the face of goal, and it's played away by the Greek defence, and you can see that one of the Scots players going up to the crowd, really geeing the ball, wanted as much support as possible, and they're certainly getting that as ever. The TartanArmy support 10 out of 10 as always, been absolutely fantastic, and they're giving their boys the support they need. So Scotland now looking to get a delivery in from the right hand side here through Ethniki, and again trying to win the ball back, and he does so back to Ethniki. Scotland will just now play the ball through into the middle, so it'll be fascinating to see how this second half plays out, because there's so many similar patterns in the first half of this Greece-Scotland game as when Scotland and Greece last played each other recently at Hampton Park, where Greece, the vast majority big, were just battering Scotland, and Scotland somehow just held in there. Of course, in that game at Hampton Park, Scotland went on to win. And at the end of that first half, Scotland really did. They had at least 2 golden opportunities. You probably classify third opportunity as a big chance as well. And they came so close to equalising right in the stroke of half time. It's an attempted Greek-dragging delivery just crashes into the side netting. So we're fascinated to see how this game gets on then, so don't go anywhere. We'll be bringing you live uninterrupted commentary coverage between now and the end of this game. Can Scotland find a way back into this as we await Craig Gordon to take goal kick? Instead of a very busy first half, will we be as busy in the second? So Scotland winning the ball in the middle of the park here. Now back to Hambley. Suter. Playing the ball through the middle. As the words there to Che Adams. Sits in P. Plays the ball now to McTominay. He didn't bar in the first half. And to be good, it's got 2 Greek players around him. You can already tell Scotland starting this second half with a lot more purpose and drive in how they started the first, where they were just absolutely blown away by Greece, and Greece must surely be absolutely livid and could well read those series of missed opportunities, because they really should have been at least 2-0 up by the end of the interval, but they missed those chances, and how costly the day proves to be. It was the right wing to midfield, and Gannon-Doe goes nowhere, goes over the reach the net. It's Gannon-Doe, but then it's good. That was really geeing up the Scottish away support here. So just a reminder, if you weren't able to listen to our first half coverage and you've just tuned in, so Scotland, they don't need a win today, but a point would be very helpful indeed for Scotland, because as expected, Denmark are leading Belarus. But if Scotland can get a point in this game, and if Denmark win, we'll actually come back to that later, because Gannon-Doe almost getting an opportunity there to go past Tsimikas on the right hand side. It's good interception in the end from the Liverpool player that could be on loan at Roma. And it's going to be a corner to Scotland. So basically, if Scotland can get a point, then it would mean that there would be 2 points behind Denmark in that final group game against the Danish team. And so it would mean that Scotland would take part in basically a winner takes all match to qualify automatically for the World Cup. Corner comes in, aids at the far post, and it's across the face of goal there by third Simniforis, headed away by the Greece back flanks. Deflection that's off the Scotland players, so it'll be a throw in for Vajanidis to take. So just a reminder, point Scotland, and if Denmark were to beat Belarus tonight, Scotland would be 2 points behind Denmark with 1 game to go. But of course, Scotland play Denmark in 3 nights' time. That's Hampton Park, so Scotland would still have the opportunity to go clear with Denmark in that last game and qualify to their first World Cup since 1998. That's why a point would be absolutely crucial, because in terms of goal difference, they are significantly behind Denmark in that respect. Ball now just played to Suter from Gordon. Now it's the centre of midfield with McTominay, who hit the bar in that first half and with a wonderful effort, just over 20 yards down. Hickey on the right, just behind the halfway line. Now knocks it back to Brant Hambley. And Robertson. McTominay back to Robertson. Suter now brings the ball forward here. Again, this is what better for Scotland in terms of the start of their first half. Of mad passion, of one thrive in a focus as well. And Greece do look a bit rattled. They were by file that team for pretty much the first 40 minutes of the first half. They were absolutely battering Scotland. They have definitely lost their way. They've lost their rhythm. Now, maybe coincide, but they've lost half of this, and now Scotland have got a big opportunity for out of nowhere here. Scotland, surely they know to equalise. No, they've done. They've played. The Greece defenders have just been able to clear the ball just in front of the goal line. Shea Adams had the goal at his mercy there, and somehow the Greek defence was able to clear the ball away. Goodness me, how have Scotland not equalised there? Steve Clark, well, he wears a face with no expression at the moment, but he must be going bad on the inside. How have Scotland not equalised? So the opportunity came from nowhere because of a horrendous misplaced defensive pass from the Greek back line. Scotland back on the attack once more. John McGinn bringing the ball to the byline from the left-hand side. Plays the ball into the area, but is played away by the Greek defence. Free the number 8, Christos Muzafutis. Now Scotland with Robertson, plays the ball into, but McTominay now back into the area. And here in Scotland driving forward, and have they won a corner? Yes, they have. Important interception there from the number 2, Georgios Pagianidis. It all came, that opportunity then, it all came from a terrible misplaced defensive pass. And all of a sudden they put Ryan Christie in. And then Ryan Christie unselfishly played the ball square to Shea Adams. That his opportunity was played in front of the goal line heroically by a great defender. Now Scotland played a corner short. Gannon Doak plays the ball in towards Christie. Now the ball is floated towards the far post but won't find anyone. And the ball to Greece is relieved. It will go out for a goal kick. Shea Adams there. You must have thought he was about to score. It was the Greek 19, Paretsats, that came in with an absolutely vital block. And then Shea Adams tried again, and then the keeper made a very good block there to deny the Scotsman. Absolutely remarkable. So it's still cannot believe we've only had one goal in this match, because up till the 40th minute mark, Greece had had a series of big chances to extend their lead, and then since then, remarkably, Scotland have really turned it around and have done everything but scored. So that's now 4 massive opportunities that they've spurned, and somehow it's still Greece 1, Scotland here. And as we've earlier explained, points to Scotland would be absolutely essential. It does. It would give them a chance of still qualifying automatically for the World Cup and not having to go through the playoffs. So now 10 minutes then into the second half. McTominay has won a throw, and you can tell Greece are rattled here. You can really tell that. They've lost their rhythm completely, and now it's Scotland that have got all the attacking threat. It's a complete mirror image to what we saw in the large portions of the first half. Throwing now on Scotland midway down the right-hand side from their perspective, down there on half. Now into Greece's own half from throwing. Ethniki to Christie. There's the ball through the middle. Shea Adams. Christie trying to keep the ball out, Scotland in the middle of the park. Ball running loose, and then ball runs out. Saying it'll be a throw-in for Greece. So just the one change so far in respects for either side. So no changes made yet in Scotland. Just the one for Greece. Tete coming along for Pavlidis. That was and then 4 substitutions. Pavlidis was injured. Stoddard the ball back well though. Inside Greece's own half. Again, turns nicely. Plays the ball through the middle. Great dummy there from Ditting. Now Ganado, and he gets ball in now with his left foot. That's the defending there though by Greeks, and this still solid. So sitting back very, very deep indeed there. It's also without out. Edwards defending. Greece are now doing, but now Greece can go on the counter here very quickly through Tete, the substitute. He rising to the 80-yard area, and he scored. Greece have gone 2-0 up here. Completely against the run of play. It's the pass from Tete, and it's the finish from Karatsas. In Scotland, oh my goodness me, all those missed opportunities within the last 10 minutes of game time, and it looks as if they're going to ruin them. A very quick counter-attack. It was a long ball down the left flank played by Bakastas, and then the Tete could move from the left wing into the penalty area. It's a smart ball across the face of goal. He's not great Scottish defending, it has to be said, but it is still finished very nicely indeed by the Greek 19, Karatsas, and he's doubled Greece's advantage here, and it's now Greece 2, Scotland 0, and Scotland now have a huge task ahead of them if they're going to get at least a point from this game, and that was totally against the run of play. Steve Clark, you must be absolutely fuming, because the chances that Scotland have had in this game from, within the last 5 minutes of the first half, and then in the opening to the second, you've had 4 huge opportunities. Those, but Tomides was just a really good one-grade strike. It would be expected slotted there that crashed off the bar, but then they've had 3 massive opportunities where they really should have stood and missed them all. And now Greece have done 2-0 up here through Karatsas' goal. Thanks to Tete's lovely pass across the face of goal, so Tete gets the assist. So it's Greece 2, Scotland 0, just before the hour mark. Lots of work ahead here for the visitors if they're going to get at least a point from this game. But Tomine now in the middle of the park, plays ball towards the left flank here with John again on the left of centre, 20 yards from goal. Plays ball to his left, ball across the face of goal. Tries to find Adams, the Greek defence will just clear the ball away, this time through Retsos, the Olympiakos centre half. It's Scotland. Go back on the attack though. You can't feel sorry for yourselves. Got to get on with it. Try and get this first goal back as soon as possible. To apply as much pressure on their opponents as they can. Scotland now keeping the ball down its left-hand side. Greece now very happy to just sit back now and try and defend this lead. Attempted free ball. Played away by the Greek defence. Now Greece will still on the counter through the middle here with Zakitis. This ball back to the Greek defence. Zakitis again. Now to Kobelis. Now they'll play the ball just to the centre of midfield, Stoke for halfway line. So now at it's just 2 minutes. Now Greece 2, Scotland 0. Karatsas with the second goal. After the Kastas's opener for Greece after just 7 minutes played, then it doesn't really tell you half the story. It's been a very eventful day. We've seen some big chances both sides. There's Greece who now hold to 2-0 lead. So they move the ball in from the right flank into the centre here, about midway down Scotland's own half. This time through Vajanides of Sporting Club in Portugal. Now the straight ball to the right flank game. Now back to the centre circle, or just in front of the centre circle. Now to the left-hand side, finds Kyriarakis. Now Tete goes past his man. Tete will go for goal, and it's a good save there from Craig Gordon. Not the first time in this game, and Tete, the substitute, that's been his second key moment of this game. It was a lovely turn there, past Handley, goes for goal, left-footed, strikes it viciously, but a bit too close to the goalkeeper, but it's a good block there from Craig Golden. Now all of a sudden it's Greece with all the momentum gain. Momentum shifts once more. So now into the 61st minute. So Greece have a corner on this left-hand side. It's going to be taken by the skipper, Tassos Bakasitas. Corner comes in, drifted in. Yeah, oh, it's off the post. Greece have now hit the post. That surely would have been game sets the match if that had gone in. He got the final touch there. I'm not too sure he actually got the final touch. It was such a congested penalty area. But Greece have hit the post, and that surely would have been the game wrapped up if that had gone in. Scotland are now clinging on, but it's another corner kick here for Greece. Last touch caught came off the Scottish defender. There's going to be a corner now on the left-hand side. Comes in from Bakasitas again, aimed at the near post. It's going to be another corner for the hosts. And Tete, the substitute, has been really causing the Scottish defence problems here just within the last 10 minutes. So there's going to be another corner then aimed in from the left. No one around him, so it's going to be played into the area from Bakasitas, who's had a very, very good game. Aimed in now at the near post. They've got a chance to go for goal from long range. It's on target, but it's the safe in the end from Gordon to deny Fistos Rizakidis, the Olympiacos midfielder, making his 7th appearance. He struck it sweet, mate, but just too close to the goalkeeper there, and a save for Gordon. So it's Greece now with all the momentum. Surely one more goal for the hosts will kill this game off. Now we'll try and make your way what's happening elsewhere in the other Euros games. When we have a break, but there's been a pretty breathless second half here. Now Greece going first. It's the goal here. Zolis. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! It's Greece 3, Scotland 0. Christos Zolis with a wonder strike from around 30 yards out. And that is surely the game wrapped up. It's Greece 3, Scotland 0. That is an unbelievable strike from Christos Zolis, the club British player. That's his 9th goal for the Greek national side. And Scotland find themselves 3-0 down. Zolis found some space in the middle of the park, and then boom! Oh my goodness, they have just seen a reverse angle on my monitor. That is not good goalkeeping from Craig Gordon. I mean, it is a good strike, but the goalkeeper, Ethniki, has to be doing better there. It goes right through his hands. So when you see the replay, Craig Gordon really should do better. And you think you can tell by his reaction, he knows it as well. And Greece have now won 3-0 up here over Scotland. So it is a good strike from Zolis. He really batters the ball as hard as possible there from around 25 yards out. But when you do have a look at the reverse angle, you see the ball, it just goes through Craig Gordon's fingers. And he really should be able to at least palm the ball away from goal. But he didn't. He's done in, and it's now Greece 3, Scotland 0. And it's Zolis with the goal. Bakasitas, who's probably been my man of the match so far, gets the assist. So it's now a goal and an assist for him in this game. And now Scotland too will play the ball on the counter-attack. It's Scotland who scored. It's now Greece 3, Scotland 1. Ben Gavin-Doe has scored completely against the wood of play here in the 65th minute. And I could also tell you that Belarus have equalised away from home against Denmark. So that's another positive for Scotland. It's all happening here. So Ben Gavin-Doe has scored following a very, very quick Scottish counter-attack, completely against the wood of play as Greece had all the momentum here. I think it might be being checked in VAR for a possible foul committed by John McGinn. Then Gavin-Doe was onside. I mean, well, it was a lovely finish from close range. The ball was coming at him with pace, but he slams the ball into the roof of the net. It's a lovely finish with the ball coming at him with so much pace. But VAR officials are now checking to see whether this goal will actually stand. So VAR are checking to see whether this goal will stand, because there may have been a foul committed by John McGinn in the build-up to this goal. So remarkable here. I think the VAR check is actually already over and the goal will stand. And now there's a booking for Tassos Bakasetas. I can only assume for dissent. There's some verbals at the referee there. So I think the VAR check may be over, but I'm still awaiting full confirmation because the game still hasn't been started yet. It looks as if Scotland's goal will stand. Begin with the assist, then Gannon Doe with the goal. Plus he should have scored right at the end of the first half as well. That goal should stand, and it will be Greece 3, Scotland 1. And it does stand, so we do now resume play from the centre circle. So Gannon Doe's goal will stand, and it's now Greece 3, Scotland 1. But remarkably, Belarus have got an equaliser away from home for Belarus against Denmark. So even though Scotland are losing, if Belarus could somehow keep that scoreline, it's the 90th minute, it would still mean that Denmark would only be 1 point clear of Scotland ahead of their final game. Now Scotland are wanting another goal back. Gannon Doe on the right flank, going towards the edge of the penalty area. So the shot aimed from long range is on target by Scotland from the number 2 Aaron Dickey, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. But we need to keep you aware of what's happening with that Denmark-Belarus game as closely as possible there, because that will have significant impact on Scotland's chances as well. We'll just run through the details of it. In fact, I've got another significant development on that. We'll come back to that very soon. Greece, now on the right-hand side here. Drives the ball across the face of goal, but the ball goes miles over. I can now tell you that Denmark are losing 2-1 at home against Belarus. That is absolutely massive. You can see the Scottish supporters are now celebrating as if they've scored again. This is remarkable. Scotland are losing 3-1, and yet they're celebrating as if they've just scored another goal to go 3-1 up themselves here, because they've just found out that Denmark remarkably are now losing 2-1 at home against Belarus. Just a reminder that Belarus have lost 4 games from 4 in their qualifying group, and like Greece, cannot qualify for next year's World Cup. So we'll run through the permutations when we can. Game resumes here, being Greece. Will Scotland be bullied by the fact that their supporters are clearly in full voice here? Neither they know that the results is still at least going their way in that Denmark game. Begin pushing forward, plays the ball across the face of goal. Headed behind by the Greek defence, in fact not quite the height, just will actually go out for a throw-in. There's Retsos there heading the ball away. Well, Scotland never do it the easy way, do they? Never ever. Robertson throws the ball into McTominay. Back to Robertson from the left flank. Now to Ferguson. So my voice is given away now. Ferguson. Now it's McTominay. Now back to the Scottish defence, but they're all inside Greece's own half. Scotland piling forward here. Well, across the face of goal is another goal for Scotland. It's Greece 3, Scotland 2, and it's Ryan Christie with the goal. It's another twist in the tail here. This is absolutely incredible. It's Greece 3, Scotland 2. We're in the 70th minute, and Scotland have given themselves a lifeline here. Because as it stands, if Scotland get one more goal, they would actually go 1 point clear as Denmark at the top of the group with 1 game to go, because Denmark are losing. A great ball in from the left flank, and it's headed home beautifully there by Bournemouth's Ryan Christie, and the keeper gets a slight touch to it, but he can't keep the ball out. And with 20 minutes to go, it's now Greece 3, Scotland 2. It was being a remarkable game. The momentum shifts have been absolutely astonishing. It really, really has. And it's been added to the fact that Denmark, incredibly, are now losing at home against Belarus. So Scotland are losing, but they're celebrating as if they're about to claim the victory there. Remarkable. And we've still got 20 minutes to go. The game goes down. He's been able to keep the ball though. Now McTominay surges down the middle. He goes past one. He's still going. The straights go past the second, but he can't get past the great number 8 there, Christos Bouzakidis. Now Scotland is another delivery from the left-hand side. It's hooked away by the Greek defence. Whatever you're doing, do make sure you are still tuned into this live commentary coverage. I'm telling you now, I have not got a clue how this game is going to end. I have no clue how Denmark versus Belarus is going to end either. This is remarkable. Long ball distributed from the goalkeeper, Craig Golden. Now Scotland playing ball long down the middle. They've actually won a free kick, and it'll be played from the centre circle. So it's a short free kick, which is taken by Retsos. Now Nagin, who's had an absolutely sterling second half, by the way. He's been absolutely brilliant. Just trying everything, willing everything his way to get Scotland back into contention here in this game. So we're now into the 72nd minute of the second half. That has absolutely flown by. A reminder that it was only 1-0 at the interval. It's now 3-2 to Greece. And now it's Greece that are on the ropes once again, as they now just play the ball to their defence. Retsos. Now to Piliarakis. Of course, we'll keep you posted as quickly and as accurately as we can about that Group C game between Denmark and Belarus. Of course, that has vast amounts of relevance to how this game is going as well. So now it's Scotland playing the long ball down the middle. Yusuf Christie has given away a free kick. No, nothing actually given by the referee. Play will continue. Now Greece wanted to go on the counter through Christos Solis. And that's great defending there from John Suits, just heading the ball back to Craig Golden. This game is absolutely breathless. There's no time to rest here. Ethniki takes the ball over the halfway line. Plays the ball to Canando. Canando goes for a 1-2 with Christie. It is a big chance here for Canando. Plays the ball across the face of goal. Jay Adams just needs to go around the goalkeeper. And now he's crowded by the defence. So it's Scotland somehow miss it. Steve Clarke has his hands on his head. How on earth have Scotland not levelled the game here? This is absolutely astonishing. This is terrible defending from Greece. Jay Adams again with the goal at his mercy. They somehow he can't get the ball out from under his feet, but he manages to keep possession, and it's a shot in the end from Christie, which is then tipped around the post by Odysseus Vlachodimos. May goodness knows what this final score is going to be here. So Scotland have won a corner. Well, have they? I think they might have done is there a possible offside there? I'm not too sure. It's actually going to be a goal kick, so I don't know if the referee actually sort of found there in the build-up. I mean, either way, Scotland now have all the momentum here. They just won a free kick. The game was clearly being pushed by the Greek number 2, Georgios Bajanidis of Sporting Club in Portugal. As far as I can see, though, it is still Denmark 1, Belarus 2. So, as it stands, so if it was to stay 3-2 to Greece and 2-1 to Belarus, it would still be a winner-takes-all match between Scotland and Denmark in 3 nights' time, where the winner would qualify automatically for the World Cup. So Belarus are doing Scotland a heap wonders favour here, because Denmark were the passive favourites going into that game. Of course, that will change quickly. You just see another replay on my monitor here of Scotland's second goal. Fabulous delivery, and it was Ryan Christie who heads the ball home in what has been an incredible game. I mean, the first half saw plenty of golden opportunities, but now about to see the first substitute come on for Scotland. So Handley has been replaced and the Kennan has come on, and Greece are also going to make substitution. So Masorat is going to come on. I think he is also being replaced by Scottish head coach Steve Clarke, and Anthony Ronston has come on in the 76th minute. Karatsas restored Greece. The second goal has been replaced by Masorat. So just those substitutions, just a slight opportunity there for us to have a breather in what's been an unbelievable second half. And you get the feeling that the drama is not over here. So we just got those substitutions for you then for both sides. So Greece, Asaras is come on for Karatsas, and Scotland, Buchanan is the placed Hanley, and Wollaston has come on for Hickey. So both managers still have 3 more substitutions that they could make here. So we're now into the 76th innings. Greece 3, Scotland 2. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with what's happening in that sort of game between Belarus and Denmark. As it stands, it's still remarkably Denmark 1, Belarus 2, and Denmark are at home in that game as well. Greece now playing the ball out from back. Liv Muzakitis plays the ball down the left-hand side. And Sibikas trying to cross the ball in from the left wing. That's well defended there by Gannon Doe. Sibikas then charges the ball down in at the throw in Scotland. Knight next for Quadri. But really, as there's something else in this game, it's 3-2, but could easily have been about 6-6 by now. There's so many golden opportunities. And now Greece back on the counter here. Football just on the edge of the penalty area. Still be played by Christos, but replay next to it wasn't quite on the same wavelength. And Scotland were able to clear the ball away. But Begid has now committed a foul with push there on Asorats. It was a clear push, so the game can't really have any complaints. So free kick is going to be played in there from Greece. It's too far away to be hit directly at goal. They will be aimed in towards the edges and the outskirts of the penalty area. So there'll be a free kick some 35 yards out. I'm sure this will be guided in towards the Vixer, headed away initially by Scotland. Yeah, but Tomine plays ball out here smartly. Scotland can go on the counter. Free Ferguson. Stop McTominay ahead of it. This is one hell of a run here. Just has to check back. And now it comes back to Ralston, one of the 2 Scotland substitutes who have just come on. Robertson. It was Robertson, by the way, with the assist for Scotland's second goal. Robertson out to Suter. Plays ball through the middle. Played away, but fortuitously Scotland. Ball comes back out to Ralston. In terms of possession, Scotland now edging. That's 51-49. There's possession for the whole game so far. Scotland now just keeping the ball on this left-hand side. I've got to think, even while there's just this ever so slight mug in this game, that there's got to be at least one more big chance here for one of these sides. But cross comes in here, these is another great save. That is an unbelievable save from Fakodemos to deny Scotland Tomine. This is an incredible game. Delivery comes in from the right wing just before it goes over the byline. And what a save by Odysseus Vlachodimos to deny Scotland Tomine. It's a volley from close range. He thinks it's got in. Every TartanArmy supporter thinks it's got in. But it's somehow kept out. Corner there, aimed it at the near post. Greece's defence cleared the ball away. Well, this game surely can't end 3-2. There's just so much going on. And of course, with Scotland piling so many players up forward, it's leaving their defence wide open. And now Greece can go in the counter-attack themselves down this right flank. 10 minutes to go. Now back to the defence for the central defence. So now referee stop the game. We've got a Scottish player down here. Not too sure how that came about. Gavin Dope is gone down. And the referee, well, he just indicate to the Scottish staff whoever a physio needs to come on. Dope, and well, as they said, it can't be time wasting because Scotland really need another goal. So this is absolutely legitimate. So Gavin Dope has injured himself because of at this hit. He swings for the ball so hard that he's ended up there. I think pulling the muscle there, as we just see another replay of McTominay's effort, which is somehow gets out by Vlachodimos. But now Greece back on the counter here as we get back underway. Aimed at the far post. It goes over the head of Greek 7 and Asteras. Greece still on the attack then, 25 yards out from goal. Vagianidis. Now back to Buzakitis. Greece will be happy just to play the ball back to their defence, but they're back on the halfway line. Greece just been able to just regain a little bit of momentum here. So 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. You have to think that there's going to be another golden opportunity for another side. So of course Greece could take advantage of just how open Scotland are now having to play here, because of course Scotland can't rely on what Belarus is doing. Got to try and make sure the fate is shaped by what they're doing as well. And they now getting the point can be absolutely crucial. And Scotland are getting ready to bring on another couple of substitutions, and these are attacking substitutions. Dykes and Shankland are going to come on. So Christie is going to go off. I can tell you there's been another goal in Denmark-Belarus game, and it's now Denmark soon, Belarus soon. So Denmark have equalised. And so as it stands, with one group game left, of course Scotland play Denmark in the final group game at Hampton Park in 3 nights' time. So it would be that Denmark, as it stands, would be 1 point clear ahead of Scotland. So it would still mean that if Scotland could beat Denmark in that game, they would qualify automatically for the World Cup. But if Denmark were to get another goal against Belarus, that would change the permutations once more. Very much not in Scotland's favour. So Dykes has come on to Scotland, as well as Shankland, and they've replaced Steve and Shea Adams. It must be absolutely gutted to see missed 3 big opportunities, and 2 that I would say are opportunities that have got to be put away by forward at this level. But a good season at Torino in Serie A, but his finishing has let him down in this game. What do the substitutes do? Dykes does well to keep the ball, and so he goes over the byline. Scotland having to play the ball back here. Greece are badly back behind the ball here. 82.5 minutes played. Gannon Doe plays ball lead into the centre. John McGuinness, a lovely delivery there. He can't quite find Minden Dykes up far post. It's a well thought out delivery from McGinn is the right idea. And so let's just see what the latest is here in the Denmark-Belarus game. So it is still currently 2-2. So Denmark, as it stands, will be 1 point clear of Scotland with that final big game to go in 3 nights' time. Can Scotland make things a bit easier for themselves again here by getting points on the board with them late equalising what has been a remarkable game away against Greece? Defence just played our lines here. Now there's Scottish player going down. It's Ferguson that's gone down, and it is. And they did a bit keep there with Cassitas. And the Cassitas, I think, is already on a booking, I believe. So I was wondering if the referee, the Cassitas picked up a yellow card in the 66th minute. And the Cassitas looking up at the referee almost with puppy dog eyes there. But it's not going to work because it is a second yellow card. So we have got more drama. The Cassitas, the Greek skipper, has now been sent off. Too much pushing and shoving, and it sends Ferguson down to the floor. And the Cassitas, the Greek captain, is now being sent off. So the goal scorer of Greece's first goal, which now feels about 10 years ago, he's now what? So Greece are down to 10 men here. The Cassitas is leaving the pitch as slowly as can be. And I'd call it a doddle to be polite. I think there's probably other words to describe it, that he's dawdling off that pitch. And he is now finally off it. So the throw there. So now Simikas has gone down. He's been elbowed in the face. There was a lot of pushing and shoving going on. John Suits looks at the referee as if to say, "You're not surely going to believe him, are you?" The Simikas is going to make most of it, because of course his team are now down to 10 men. And he wants to even those odds. So let's have a look at the replay then. Is there any contact? No. Deary me. I mean, there's contact in the sense that, there's skin-to-skin contact, but he goes down as if he's been punched, and it's clearly not hurt in the slightest. So Simikas is doing his best there to get Suits sent off. But ultimately, it's just a yellow card that Suits collects. So Scotland still have 11 dead then, so despite Simicas's best attempts there to get Suits sent off, Suits remains on pitch with the yellow. So you do get the feeling that this is going to be a frantic end. Well, it's been a frantic 90 minutes for a stop, hasn't it? But this finale is going to be a twist in the tail somewhere. And then Dites has the ball just on the edge of the area, just the ball down. Referees blow this whistle. I think it is just a free kick to Greece, I believe. Yeah, it's the right decision. Dites just kind of shoving into the number 5, Panagiotis Retsos there. So it's correct decision for the so Greece getting a free kick just ahead of their own penalty area. And if we're going to see a couple more Greek substitutions take place here. Though as it stands then, Scotland will still go into their final group game against Denmark, where they know if they beat Denmark, they will qualify for the FIFA World Cup. But if Denmark were to get another late goal against Belarus to win that game, that would put things passively into Denmark's favour, because Denmark's goal difference is passively superior to Scotland. So Scotland really do still need to go for it to try and get Slade point. But from Greece's perspective, of course, they could easily grab a fourth because Scotland's defence is now so open. So plenty to play for here for both sides, and it looks like Hurst is going to come on for Scotland here. As Gannon Doty is going to be replaced, and Hurst will now come on. So that will be Scotland's final substitution. So Hurst comes on for Gannon Doty. As Scotland now play the ball out from the back. So 87.5 minutes played. Long ball in from the left-hand side of Scotland's defence. Foul is given. Just as Simicas wins the foul there for. Now, that is definitely a free kick, because Simicas is bundled over to the ground. So that is definitely the correct decision. And Simicas not playing for that one at all. So Kostulas and Hatzidakis is going to come on for Greece as we now approach the 89th minute. But I imagine we're going to have plenty of stoppage time here, as it's taking quite a while for Istanbul make substitution to take place. And while that's happening with that substitution, let's just take you around elsewhere. So currently it's Slovenia 0, Kosovo 2, Switzerland 3, Sweden 1. It's still Denmark 2, Poland 2, and Bosnia-Herzegovina come from behind to now lead Romania 2-1. Of course, earlier on today, Wales beat a very plucky Liechtenstein side 1-0 away from home. Top pretty's the victory has been said. Wales did what they needed to do, did not want to get the 3 points. Play resumes then in Greece. We're now only about 60 seconds away from the 90th minute, but another stoppage here, as this Greek substitution will now take place. So coming off is Christos Mouzakitis of Olympiakos. So Sidiakos and Kostulas are going to come on here. It's taken a while for this double substitution to take place. It's been ready for about 3 minutes, but they are now going to come on here. Hatzidakis coming on as well as Kostulas. And Mouzakitis goes up. And Solis will go off as well. Solis was Greece's goal scorer for their third goal. There was 25-yard effort. Not fluid to the net, but it was pretty poor goalkeeping from Craig Gordon to allow the goal to take place. So the substitutions finally take place. We are now into the 90th minute. Well, I'm surprised that is only 4 minutes stoppage time. I thought there'd be more than that, but still 4 minutes to go then for Scotland to either find a late leveller or to Greece to kill the game off completely. Yeah. Got the feeling that there's going to be a big chance for one of these sides. So my apologies, it's actually 5 minutes of stoppage time that being given and not 4. Ralston, early delivery in from the right flank. He's played away by the Greek defence. Diddy pass will play the ball out here to Tete. Tete just slips over, loses his balance. It still out of Scottish defence to reclaim the ball here. Yeah, Scotland playing the ball out from the middle. Now it's the left-hand side. Ethniki. Now back to the left-hand side of midfield. Down to the number 16 here for Scotland, John Suter. And beginners got a chance to ride into the penalty area near and Scotland somehow don't score from a few yards out. It was remarkable leg from John McGinn coming in from the right wing into the penalty area, drives the ball across the face of goal, and it's somehow not turned in. I have no idea how. There's now got a replay that's done down to the front, but the game goes past his opponent, plays the ball across the face of goal. Oh, and it takes just the tiniest deflection of the goalkeeper, and it means that Shankland can't get a proper connection with the ball, so the ball kind of bounces off it, rather than Shankland being able to actually tuck the ball home. He almost gets in the way of Hurst actually as well. The Scotland's coming within inches there of finding a late equaliser. Another ball comes into the area, almost finds Dykes, but not quite. It's played away. And there'll be another throw in here for Scotland. They've got 2 minutes left here to try and find what will be a very, very important equalising goal. Delivery comes in just in front of the byline. It's played away again by the Greek defence. The less than 2 minutes to go. Greece still lead 3-2. They're now happy to just sit right back here. They're now down to 10-2 following the second goal offence for the Castats. Those Scotland got one more chance left in them. To the right wing. And it's just 5 Ralston. Could he keep the ball in? Just he can. Could he now get the corner? Yes, he can. Scotland have been able to win the corner, much to the Greek manager's disbelief, Ivan Jovanovic. So there's going to be a corner here for Scotland. I just wonder, Craig Gordon is going to go up. The goalkeeper is going to go up here. That's how important this is for Scotland to try and get a point in this game. Craig Gordon is going up for the corner kick. Well, this really is, desperate times call for desperate measures here. So corner comes in. The goalkeeper is up here. And Greece's defence, the goalkeeper is just able to punch the ball away. That's the Greek goalkeeper, by the way. As both goalkeepers are inside the penalty area. Now McGinn goes down about 10 yards outside the outskirts of the penalty area. So the free kick is being given to Scotland. McGinn will take, and it will just be a case of whipping the ball there with as much pace as possible. The goalkeeper, Craig Gordon, has now gone back to his goal. So he's not committed anymore. McGinn then, last chance surely for Scotland. And it's all under the goalkeeper, just gets to the ball in the nick of time. He plays the ball bravely. Very good goalkeeping there from Odysseus Vlachodimos. Oh my word, he just gets to the ball before McTominay's outstretched leg can get there first. So close. And now the goalkeeper is down with an injury here. So we're now into the 5th minute of stoppage time. And I think we're going to get some extended time onto that stoppage time because Odysseus Vlachodimos went down there. And he is now back up. And he's just wasting as much time as he can. I just, basically just trying to see how much time he can get away with before being booked by the referee. So he does now release the ball. He's trying to just play the ball anywhere they can here, and the full-time whistle goes. So an absolutely remarkable game here has finished, and it's finished Greece 3, Scotland 2. Of course, it was just 1-0 at the interval to Greece following the 7th minute goal from Kasatas. But then Karatsas doubled Greece's advantage after 57 minutes. Then he's always extended Greece's lead to make it 3-0. But then got Scotland's first goal 2 minutes later in the 65th minute, and then 5 minutes later, Ryan Christie scored, and somehow Scotland didn't get an equaliser right at the end. Now I'm just going to see exactly what happens at the end of this Denmark-Belarus game, because we're now in the 5th minute, going to stoppage time there. So I'm just going to try and keep going just until we know what the final outcome is, because if it ends 2-2 between Denmark and Belarus, it means that if Scotland can beat Denmark in their final game at Hampton Park in 3 nights' time, it would mean Scotland would finish ahead of Denmark to qualify automatically for their first World Cup since 1998. So it's still going, that game between Denmark and Belarus. So just reminding you, so Greece have beaten Scotland 3-2 in an